Aryna Sabalenka stuns boyfriend as she calls him out in front of packed arena. WA world number 1 Sabalenka made the point loud and clear following her Brisbane international triumph. World number 1 Aryna Sabalenka called out her boyfriend in front of a packed arena following her Brisbane international triumph over the weekend. Sabalenka successfully defended her Brisbane international crown as she defeated Marta Kostyuk 6-4, 6-3. The Belarusian kicked off the 2026 season with the impressive victory as she took one step closer to matching Karolina Pliskova's record of 3 Brisbane international wins. Sabalenka didn't drop a set all week as she geared up for the Australian Open later this month with another piece of silverware. Sabalenka aims not-so-subtle dig at boyfriend. And during her victory speech, Sabalenka took the chance to thank her team, stating, "Thank you to my team for handling me. I'm really the toughest one to handle, and you guys are the toughest people in the world if you can handle me." The 27-year-old also took the opportunity to aim a dig at her boyfriend, adding, "Thank you to my boyfriend. Hopefully, soon I'll call you something else, right? Let's just put a bit of extra pressure on, right?" The final between Sabalenka and Kostyuk saw the pair resume rivalries after previous comments made by the latter that the former possesses higher testosterone levels than other female players. With IGA, Swiatek, when I have played her, I wasn't ready to play her at all. I played her over a year ago. With Aryna Sabalenka, I don't know, to be honest, Kostyuk said in an interview with Tennis 365 last October. When I look at these players, I have my own skills, but at the end of the day, they are all much bigger than me, much taller than me, much stronger than me. We all have different biological structure. Some have a higher level of testosterone, some have lower. I know players who are good players who have higher levels of it. It's just natural, they don't take anything. I'm sure of that. It's just the biology of their body. Obviously, that definitely helps. I'm trying to see how I can beat these players with the tennis skills I have, but I have to work more than they have to win the points. I need to run a lot more. I am much more of an athletic player. I cannot just hit the ball hard, sweeping players out of the court with my power. I cannot make myself suddenly 10 kilograms bigger or 5 centimeters taller, so I have to find ways to use everything I have at 100%. For other players, they have more of an advantage in other things. This is just the way I am. My body, I'm really small. I look at the pictures when we are on the court and I look so much smaller than everyone. I cannot be bigger. It's just Aryna Sabalenka stuns her boyfriend as she calls him out in front of a packed arena. The stadium was already humming before Aryna Sabalenka even stepped onto the court. 20,000 people filled the arena, their anticipation crackling in the air like static before a storm. Flags waved, phones hovered, and somewhere deep in the concrete belly of the place, a bass-heavy playlist thumped in rhythm with the crowd's heartbeat. Aryna thrived in moments like this. Pressure never bent her, it sharpened her. She walked out with that familiar stride, shoulders back, jaw set, eyes alive with fire. This was her stage. Always had been. What no one expected, what no one could have predicted, was that the most memorable moment of the night would have nothing to do with a forehand winner or a 190 km/h serve. It would come from her voice. The moment before, her opponent had just left the court for a brief break. Aryna remained near the baseline, towel draped around her neck, racket resting against her thigh. The big screen zoomed in on her face, beads of sweat glistening under the lights. Then the camera shifted. Row 7. Courtside. There he was. Her boyfriend sat relaxed, legs crossed, wearing a grin that suggested he was enjoying himself a little too much. He'd been teasing her all week about her intensity, her routines, the way she locked into match mode and forgot the rest of the world existed. Before the match, he joked that she took tennis too seriously. Aryna had laughed then. She wasn't laughing now. The call out. She looked straight at him. At first, the crowd thought it was coincidence. Then she lifted her hand, pointed, and leaned toward the courtside microphone. "You," she said, her voice echoing through the arena. A ripple of laughter moved through the stands. "Yes, you," she continued, eyes locked on him. "Stop smiling like this is easy." The crowd roared. Her boyfriend froze, eyes wide, half laughing, half shocked as 20,000 people turned to look at him. The big screen caught his expression perfectly: surprise, pride, and a hint of "oh no." "I told you," Aryna added, smirking now, "this is not a movie. This is real work." The umpire raised an eyebrow. The commentators went silent, then burst out laughing. And just like that, Aryna Sabalenka had turned a tennis match into a moment of pure theater. The crowd reacts. The arena exploded. People weren't just cheering, they were howling. Social media phones lit up instantly. Somewhere in the press box, a journalist abandoned match statistics and started typing furiously. It wasn't cruel. It wasn't mean. It was Aryna, bold, unfiltered, fearless even off the scoreboard. Her boyfriend stood and bowed dramatically, hands raised in surrender. The crowd loved him for it. Aryna rolled her eyes, finally laughing, and turned back toward the court. Message delivered. Why it mattered. To outsiders it looked like playful banter. A champion teasing her partner under the brightest lights imaginable. But for those who had followed Aryna's career, the moment felt deeper. Sabalenka had never been the quiet star. She didn't shrink herself to fit expectations. She roared when she won points. She scowled when she missed. She wore her emotions openly, even when critics told her to tone it down. Love, for her, followed the same rules. She didn't separate strength from softness. She didn't hide ambition to appear agreeable. And she certainly didn't pretend the spotlight wasn't heavy. Calling out her boyfriend wasn't about embarrassment, it was about honesty. This was her world. And if you loved her, you had to understand it. Back to business. When play resumed, Aryna was ruthless. Her serves landed like thunderclaps. Her returns cut the court open. Whatever energy she'd released into the crowd seemed to come back to her tenfold. Point by point, she tightened her grip on the match. Between games, the camera occasionally drifted back to her boyfriend. He clapped hard now, no teasing smile in sight, just admiration. He understood. This wasn't about being front row famous. It was about standing beside someone who burned this brightly. After the match, Aryna won in straight sets. As she raised her arms, the crowd roared again, louder than before. During her on-court interview, the interviewer couldn't resist. "So," they said with a grin, "we have to ask, what was that moment earlier?" Aryna laughed, wiping sweat from her brow. "He thinks tennis is easy," she said. "I just wanted to remind him." The crowd laughed. Somewhere courtside, he shook his head, smiling. Later, backstage, away from cameras, he wrapped her in a hug. "Okay," he admitted. "I deserve that." She smirked into his shoulder. "I know."